In this video, I'll demonstrate how to use ElevenLabs for free and take you on a journey through the different features, a lot of which have just recently been added to this software. And I'll show you some of what I've done with ElevenLabs so far. I'll get to the good part right away. But first, I'll just say, my name's Alex. I'm a digital marketer and content creator with Lover Fighter Writer. If you'd like to see more content from me, including ElevenLabs reviews and tutorials in the upcoming weeks, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And ElevenLabs is best known for AI voice cloning, and text-to-speech audio generation, meaning you can create a synthetic voice or a synthetic copy of your own voice and generate spoken audio just by inserting text. And we'll take a quick look at the ElevenLabs pricing here, just so that you can understand what's going on. I actually didn't realize that you could use ElevenLabs for free when I signed up, so I just signed up for the creator tier right away. That is the tier that I'm currently on. So I have 100,000 credits for this month, and I think I've maybe used about 20% of them, and I've been able to make some really cool stuff. So I'll go over that in just a minute. But this is the free tier that we're talking about, and it's not just a free trial. All you have to do is sign up for a free account, and you'll get 10,000 credits a month absolutely for free. See, it says right here, 10,000 credits per month. And I am an affiliate for ElevenLabs, so if you follow my link, which will be in the description of this video, and you sign up for a free account, if you ever decide to upgrade, I would get a commission. So if you choose to use my link, I'd really appreciate that. But either way, once you're on the ElevenLabs website, all you have to do is sign up for a free account and not sign up for a paid account, and then you'll be able to use it for free to the tune of 10,000 credits a month. And as we go over the tools and what I've created so far, you should get a pretty good idea of what you can do with 10,000 credits on ElevenLabs, which is actually quite a bit. All right, I figured we'd start with the newest features, which are probably what's bringing a lot of people to this video, which are their image and video generation tools. As I mentioned, ElevenLabs is primarily known for their AI voice generation and cloning. They've been one of the market leaders in that space for quite a while now, and they've just recently integrated AI image generation and AI video generation and editing into the platform. So you can see in the menu on the left here that image and video is labeled as new and studio is labeled as new. And studio is their long-form content editor. I've tried using it a little bit and I don't like it that much, but that doesn't bother me because I know it's a new feature and their image and video generation works very well. And that's really what I'm here for, is I'm primarily using ElevenLabs for the voice generation and for the video generation and editing. But I don't mean to do my entire video editing in here, so I don't need a long-form studio. I just want to be able to change things and add effects really easily with AI, and I'll show you how I've done that. And most video generators right now only do text to video and image to video. So basically you put in a text prompt and you might also be able to upload reference images and the AI will create a video from that. But some of the more powerful models are now able to do video to video generation, which basically means you can upload a video clip and have it add a special effect, which would typically take some very skilled animation or other types of special effects, and you can just do it very quickly with the AI yourself. And the way that you can do that is when you're in the image and video generator page and you go to where you can select which AI model you want to use, click on that, and you can see there are tons of models here. Seedance is a much less expensive one that I've used for quite a few things. I'll show you the projects that I made with that. Kling is one of the more expensive, but also one of the most powerful ones. We also have Veo, which is the Google model, and a few others. And so once you've got this menu open, you can just click on editing. And right now there are two models on here which can edit videos. Kling is the one that I used. You can see it is pretty expensive credits wise. And LTX2 Retake, this must have just been added in the last day or two because I don't remember seeing this before. And it's significantly cheaper in terms of credits than Kling is. So I'm gonna have to try that. And so if I select Kling, you can see now, in addition to a text prompt, I can upload a video and image references. Now, if I go to Seedance, all I can upload is a start frame and an end frame, which are images, and provide a text prompt. With Veo, you can provide a start frame and an end frame and other image references. And in addition to selecting the model you want to use down here, you can also select the aspect ratio. You can select the resolution, the duration of the clip, how long you want it to be, whether you want it to generate audio or not, if you want to include any negative prompts, which is something that you want it to specifically avoid, and how many versions of it you want it to generate. So you probably wouldn't want to do more than one generation when you're generating videos because they're very expensive on the credits. But for example, when you're generating images or audio, it's fairly cheap on the credits. And so it can actually be faster for your workflow if you just generate it 3 or 4 times in one go and pick the one that you like the best. I really like the fact that you can turn the audio on or off because that actually saves you a lot of credits. You can see if I turn audio on, it's like twice as expensive as if I turn audio off. And so that means that if I'm just creating a video effect or a quick 3 or 4 second clip that I'm going to insert into an existing video and I have other audio and I don't need the video to provide its own audio, then I can save a lot of credits on that. And if you want to use the image generation tools, then you just go to image right here. And in the same way, you can select the model that you want to use. We've got Nano Banana, Seedream, GPT Image, and many others. And then if you want to go back to the video generation, you can just click on video. And let's take a quick look at what I generated. This one is fun. It's just a little 5-second clip of a robot stepping through a portal, kind of Terminator style. And so this was with Seed Dance. It cost 785 credits. And I provided the start frame and the end frame, which is just a picture of the robot, really as a reference image. And it gave me this nice little video, which I'm going to use in something in the future. And then I created these little clips for a Nano Banana video that I'm working on. This one kind of screwed up, but this one got it really good. And I used Seed Dance for this one as well. And again, I provided the opening frame and the closing frame, and it converted it into a nice video. I also did these with Seed Dance. I just took a picture of a robot sitting at a desk and had it animate it, and it also provided a voice. Let's see if I can get that.
Watch how I save time creating digital content. Watch how I save time creating digital content.
That's pretty cool, and I think you can probably guess how I'm going to use a clip like that. These are a couple images that I generated with Seedream, and I'm probably not going to do a lot of image generation with ElevenLabs because even though it's pretty cheap on the credits, I already have a Google Workspace subscription, which comes with pretty much unlimited use of Nano Banana. And if you want to see exactly how I use Nano Banana, you can do it with a free Google account as well as with a paid Google Workspace account. I'll link to that tutorial in the description because Nano Banana is one of the most powerful image generators right now. And you can use it on a free or a paid Google account. But those were some really nice images. This was where I tried to create a custom logo reveal with Seed Dance, and it didn't really work because it didn't actually include the logo that I was using, but they are kind of cool little animations. I just think that Seed Dance is the wrong AI model for this type of video, but Seed Dance is the right type of model for this video. So I created this one with Seed Dance. It's 6 seconds long, no audio. It cost just under 1,000 credits, and I provided the image, which I had previously generated with AI. And it gave me this nice little scene of a robot dancing with a woman. And then this is one of my favorite ones right here. This is the one that I did with Kling, with the video editing model. And it was very expensive. It cost a little over 9,000 credits, but I really wanted to test it out. And so I just took some footage that I had of me hitting a speed bag, and I prompted it to add these crazy special effects. And then I went into Premiere Pro and I added this video as a layer over top of the original video, and I had it fade in right as I hit the target for the first time. And I'll pull that up here and show it to you. It's pretty cool. All right, so this is the clip that I created using the original video and the AI edited video. And of course, that was pretty short because I was just kind of testing out the tool. I didn't want to use a ton of credits on it, but I really like that. And then down here, we have an animation that I made of a book cover. And it worked really well, except for the fact that it added this like weird text at the end. But I think I would just have to rerun that a couple times, possibly use a negative prompt to make sure that that doesn't happen. And for this video, I used Kling 2.5, which is one of the more expensive models. It was 5 seconds long with audio, and it cost a little over 2,000 credits. So if I used all the credits on my creator plan in 1 month to make videos like this, I would be able to make around 40 to 50 videos like this. But that would be if I was using Kling for all of them, which I probably wouldn't because I think Seed Dance might actually handle this specific type of video better, and it's much cheaper. But even if you wanted to use Kling on the free model with 10,000 credits a month, you could still make 4 or 5 of these a month for free. Now let's go on a stroll through all the features of ElevenLabs, and then I'll show you a couple other ElevenLabs alternatives that also have free tiers. And I am focusing entirely on the ElevenLabs creative platform right now. You can see that right here. That is their generative AI content platform. They also have an agent platform, which is for building and managing AI agents. And I've done some stuff with agentic AI, but I'm not incredibly well versed in it. And for right now, I just really want to focus on using ElevenLabs for content. I have other tools that I can use for agentic stuff. And so for now, for this video, we're just going to focus on the creative platform. But if you want to see me go over the agentic platform as well, please leave me a comment letting me know. Or if you have any questions about anything or a request for a future tutorial, feel free to leave it in the comments. And while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so that I know that this is the type of content that you want to see more of. And right now I'm on the Home tab in the creative platform, and I can switch between light mode and dark mode right here. I massively prefer dark mode, and I apologize to your eyes if that hurt when I switched to light mode briefly. And you can see how their platform is still mostly focused on the text-to-speech and AI voices. In their quick tools here, they've got instant speech, audiobook, image and video, agents, music, and dubbed video. So about half of them are focused on audio content. And then they've got some sample voices that are available in their library. And if we go to the voices tab, then we can see even more of that. And unlike a lot of other AI voice platforms, with ElevenLabs, you can clone your own voice. And I made another video on how you can create character voices with voice cloning. There's a number of different ways that you can do it. So I'll link to that video in the description, but you can clone your own voice. You can also use voices from their library, which is ever growing as their users create and add more voices to the library. And you can also generate your own voice from a prompt. So if I go to create or clone a voice, we have two different types of voice cloning. There's also something called voice remixing, which wasn't here the last time I looked at this. So I guess this is like combining aspects of different voices. And then you can also do voice design, which is where you just provide a text prompt. And then I think once you provide a text prompt to create the voice, then there's things that you can adjust about it. It's pretty cool. And you can create like any type of voice with any type of accent. You could probably also tell it to like sound like what a gorilla would sound like if it could talk, or what a crocodile would sound like. Actually, that sounds kind of fun. Let's try that. And actually, this is kind of in line with what I was saying, because the sample prompt here is apparently an ogre. All right, so I wrote a quick description of a voice here, and I don't know what it's going to do because I didn't even really focus on telling it how to sound aside from a smooth tenor. And tenor just means a little bit of a higher male voice. In male singers, you have tenor, which is someone who can sing higher, baritone, who's kind of middle range, and bass, who is the lowest range. And I'm a baritone. So if this is a tenor voice, it should probably be a little bit higher than mine. And I can also open the settings and set the loudness and the guidance scale, which is how closely it will stick to what I've requested. So I'm going to bump this up to like 50%, and I'll leave generate preview text on, which I believe means that it'll just generate some text to generate audio from so I can hear the voice. So we'll say generate voice.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard. I trust you're all.
And you can see it has given me 3 versions of this voice to choose from. So let's have a listen.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard.
Try voice 2.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard.
I like that one a little bit better. It seems a little bit more unique.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard.
I think I like voice 2 the best. And to me, those do sound a little bit higher than my voice. It's always difficult to know exactly what your own voice sounds like in the moment. And I think when I'm making videos, I talk in a little bit of a higher register than normal because I'm really engaged with what I'm doing. But I like that, so I'm going to select voice 2.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome aboard. I trust you're all settling in nicely. It's a real pleasure to have you.
Have you for dinner. That guy sounds like a villain. All right, so we'll select that voice, call it Nile Crocodile. Select English as the voice and save. And now when I go to the My Voices tab, we've got Nile Crocodile. And if I want to look at the library voices, I can go to default voices. And the initial screen that I was on was Explore over here. And then in the playground section, we have text to speech, which is their main tool. And you can add up to 5,000 characters of text to generate at a time, which seems like it's kind of an industry standard right now. And you can see the number of credits that I have right here. You can also see up in the top right corner on my profile image, it's showing a visual representation of how much I've used in this little like partial circle. And then when I hover, it says 22%. So that's how much I've used. And here, in addition to inserting the text that I want it to generate, I can select the voice. I can select the generative model that I want it to use. I can control the speed, the stability, which controls how consistent it is. So I would probably bump this up for the most part. And then we have similarity and style exaggeration, as well as language override and speaker boost. And it looks like speaker boost makes it generate a little bit slower, but a little bit higher quality, which is interesting, and that's on by default. Next on the menu, we have the voice changer. This is where you can change the way a voice sounds in audio or video. And I think this is also where you would do lip syncing clips, or that might be down here in dubbing. We'll see when we get there. And then we have sound effects. And I think I created a few sound effects here. Yeah, I was kind of going for like a specific thing here. I'm not sure if I really got it, but definitely created some interesting sound effects. And this is really useful for creating like your own custom version of a fairly basic type of sound effect. Like if you needed a door slamming or like a chimes musical segue, those can be generated very effectively. And then we have the voice isolator, which I think is for removing background noise and clarifying muddy audio. We've got the image and video generator, which we already took a look at. And then we have the templates section, which is in beta, and they don't have a lot of templates, but basically these are just pre-designed prompts for image and video. So for example, this one is photo to cartoon. And if I click on it, all I have to do is upload a photo and it will provide a similar cartoon effect to this. And then we have studio, where you can create and edit projects. And we'll just open one of my projects here. And at this point, from what I've done in the studio so far, which is not much, I don't really see much of a purpose to using it for my purposes, but I'm sure that some of their users will find it really handy, and that will give them the chance to iterate on this and improve it. And eventually it'll probably get to a point where I will want to use it. Basically, you can generate audio here and edit stuff. You can also insert sound effects, insert music, insert and generate, insert video, and you can also generate all of these things right here. So if you were looking to use ElevenLabs to create an entire video, then this would be really handy. I think it's still got some work to do, but it's certainly functional. I just have Creative Cloud, so I'd rather use Premiere Pro for the actual video editing. And then next we have the music generators, which I've had really good results with so far. I've actually only generated 2 songs because both times I got like exactly what I was looking for on the first try. So let's just take a listen to Midnight Workflow. It's a little bit more chill. And then here comes the funky bass line. And so I don't know how good it would be at creating like really complex, unique music. But if you're just looking for something kind of standard like that, it's really, really good. And I used a really simple prompt for this. It was just lo-fi, chill, but funky lounge groove that's easy to enjoy and work to. And then we have the dubbing tool here, which I believe is for creating the lip sync videos. I haven't tried this one yet. And then we have speech to text, in other words, transcription. I probably won't be using this because I have other tools that I use for transcription that are already part of my workflow, and I wouldn't want to use up my ElevenLabs credits on that. And then we have this audio native tool, which I think is for creating widgets that read the content of websites to visitors, which is interesting because I know that people who have very low vision or who are blind need that type of thing to navigate the internet, but usually those people already have something like that built into their browser. But maybe this is just so that any visitor who feels like listening instead of reading can do so. And that's a pretty good idea. I typically create YouTube videos to go with web pages that I want people to be able to listen to, but this is a much more automated option. And then the productions tab, I think, is basically where you can pay ElevenLabs to create stuff for you. Yeah, so it looks like it only applies to transcripts, dubs, and audiobooks, and you can just kind of order it on the platform and their team will take care of it for you. And I'm not going to get into the developers tab because I'm not really a developer, so I wouldn't have much to say there. But hopefully that was a nice initial walkthrough of the ElevenLabs platform. Of course, we covered how to use ElevenLabs for free, and we went through all the major features and took a look at the ElevenLabs pricing, including the 10,000 credits per month free tier. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me cover with ElevenLabs next. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching Lover Fighter Writer, and I'll see you in the next video.